All right, this is closure problem 1-67. And it says, copy the pattern below onto graph paper. Draw the first and fifth figures on your paper. So I can see that they've given us figure 2, figure 3, and figure 4. And unlike that other problem, I am actually going to draw these out because it is helpful to do that. So the first one, I've seen that we've got this one little square sitting out to the side, and then I've got 3 squares stacked up, and then we've got a set of 4 squares tagged on to the back here. All right, and then I just copied that outline for figure number 3, and then I'm kind of looking, so I'm just going to draw the divisions there so it looks the same. And now I'm going to look at how this grew. So it looks like I tagged on one more tile onto the front here, and I'm going to shade that in a little. And it looks like I had 3 here, and now I've got 4 across. So it looks like I've tagged on 2 other squares right there. Okay, so now I'm going to do the next figure and see if it's the same. So 3 tall ones in the middle is how I figure it out. And then, so I've got these right here that I had before. So I'm kind of just copying what I had before. And then I'm looking, okay, now I've got 3 sticking out here this way. So I've added 1 there, and this is for figure 4. And if I look over here, I can see that I've tagged on 2 more here. So right away I can tell, oh, it looks like it's growing 3 every time. So if I were going, and we're adding on here and here, here and here. So if I were going to try to figure out how to shrink it down, that makes it a little easier for me to figure it out. That's supposed to be a 1. Okay, so I need to shrink it by 1 tile here and 2 tiles here. So really all I'm going to have are those 3 tiles that I started out with that are tall, and then 2 more sticking out to the side there. And then actually I don't really have room, but I'm just going to, over here off to the side, I'm going to try to figure out what figure 0 is, because that can be really helpful too. So if I wanted to figure out what figure 0 is, because I was adding 3 each time, I know I'm going to have to take away 3. So these 2 are going to go away. And then I'll have to take away 1 there, I think, because it keeps shrinking in this direction. So if it's growing in this direction, it's shrinking in that direction. So I think for figure 0, I'm just going to end up with 2. So if I have 5 here, I'm just going to write 5 underneath here because I know I had 5 tiles. And I know that I added 3 here, so I have 8 tiles total here. And here 3 more, so 8 plus 3 is 11 tiles. So I've got 11 tiles on here. And then I add 3 more, and so that's 14 tiles there. And then of course for figure 0, I subtract 3 tiles to get 2 tiles. Okay, so figuring out figure 0 is going to help me, even though they don't tell you. That's my big hint to you. Okay, so then let's look at these questions. How many tiles are in each figure? So I actually wrote how many tiles were in each figure. And I was supposed to figure out what the 5th figure is. So I'll just do that right now. So that is figure 5. And I am going to have to add, I'll have 3 tiles, the 3 tiles I had at the beginning, and then this time it's going to be 4 off to the side. And then we've added, so we have 8 there and then 2 more. So those are our additional tiles. And so this is what figure 5 is going to look like. And here's where we added, here and here. So figure 5 is going to have 17 tiles because we add 3. All right, so now we've got everything we need. How many tiles are in each figure? Well, we already figured that out. Describe how the pattern is changing. Okay, so that's B. So I'm going to put a B there. And I am going to say, let's see, it increases by 3. And then I'll say 1 on the left and 2 on the right. All right, so that pretty much describes it. All right, and then I've also colored it in. So that's another way of showing how the pattern is changing. All right, and C is how many tiles would the 6th figure have and how many tiles would the 10th figure have? Okay, so C, how many would the 6th figure or figure 6 have? Well, that's kind of easy because all I have to do is add 3 to 17. So I know that's 20. And then the 10th figure, well, I could figure that out just by going on and adding 3 each time and, getting down to what that number is. The other thing I can do is I can say to myself, well, let's see. Before I started adding, the 1 tile and the 3 tiles, before I started adding 3 tiles each time, I just had 2. So with figure 1, I added 3. Figure 2, I added 3. Figure 3, I added 3. So I can start saying, well, let's see. 1 time I added 3. 2 times I added 3. 3 times I added 3. 4 times I added 3. See how 5, that corresponds with a figure number? 5 times I added 3. So if it's 10 times that I added 3, so that's 10 times 3. So 10 times 3 is equal to 30. So that is how many tiles that I added. And then before I started this whole thing, I had 2 tiles. And so for the 10th figure, figure 10, I start out with 2 tiles plus the 30 tiles that I added. By going 10 times, I added 3. So that's 30. So I'll say figure 10 is going to have 32. And if you want, you could check that. So if I add, that's 23, figure 27, that's going to be 26, 29. This is there, and then you add 3 more, and you would get 32 in figure 10. Okay, so it all adds up.